Hey everyone. So I went out to Palm Springs for some personal stuff, to do some family stuff, but I decided to do some thrifting along the way. I did just get a brand new computer, a Mac Studio, and it doesn't come with a built-in microphone, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to overlay much audio on top of this thrift portion, but I'll kind of just explain it to you along the way. This is a short one anyways, until we do get a microphone. But yeah, it was interesting. Palm Springs is definitely a lot different than out here. Very hot, and the thrift stores don't open until like at least 10 a.m. So if you think you're gonna beat the heat and go a little earlier, you're not gonna be able to. I went to Angel View Thrift. There was a lot of people waiting outside. I mean, probably at least 15-20 people waiting for the doors to open, so it's definitely the place to go. I was trying to see if I could find some like vintage tees, some single stitch. I thought this would be a good place to find that. Prices were a little bit higher at the thrift store, so went to the men's section. They did not have a good selection of tees. I did find a bunch of, I don't know if they were dead stock Stussy blanks, as you can see in this video. They kind of look like off sizes though. They had no graphics on them, so I didn't pick them up. They wanted almost $9 for them. That's a little pricey for me, especially for pink blank Stussy shirts. I know they are popular right now, but that's not something that I wanted to take the risk on. No t-shirts really that were anything. There was only a few. Next, I checked out some worker boots. These were kind of interesting. I couldn't see the price tag. Now that I'm looking back at the video, I can see there was actually a price tag inside, but they are probably gonna be expensive anyway. So I also found these like 70s looking slip-on Vans. They were actually almost my size. They probably would have fit me, but they were a little too McDonald's looking for me. They might have been super trendy. Someone might have loved them, but for 10 bucks, I didn't want to sit on them. They weren't something I was personally gonna wear, so I left those behind. It was weird though because they were a little scuffed on the sides, but the bottoms looked like they had never been worn. I wonder if they were just sitting in someone's closet and getting scuffed around. They're a really nice pair of shoes, and I'm not sure if they were a new remake to look like they were vintage or if they were vintage, but they were definitely interesting. There was also a pair of Adidas that I didn't show. They were like the cloud ones. They were also 10 bucks. It seemed like all the tennis shoes and stuff were about 10 bucks. And then I started going through the jeans, and to my amazement, I found like the holy grail. I was not sure if I was seeing things correctly, but I found big E Levi's, and I was really confused at first. I also found some very, very vintage, like signature Levi's, but I looked at the value of them and they weren't anything crazy. But I grabbed the big E Levi's. I also found this other pair of like corduroy Levi's, and they just had they were white tab with just an R. I was trying to look it up. I couldn't find it anywhere. My phone was dying, and this was kind of the problem. So I have never really done vintage, like searching for things that are expensive things like big E Levi's. I just kind of found out about this. It's not something that I know too much about. So when I found these, I was really surprised. These jeans looked brand new, and I was like very confused about it. I went online, my phone was about to die. I was reading all these things. It said how to spot like authentic ones and all this stuff, and everything that I was reading was what I found. And then when I got home, charged my phone, I realized the biggest mistake that I made that no one explains to you is that they need to be the 501 Levi's for the biggies. What I ended up picking up are part of their vintage remake collection. They're still a few $100s, but they're not actually from the 70s. It's part of their new collection of making these older ones. I looked at the seam, it was a single stitch seam. It said the care tag started being put after the 70s, had the biggie. Everything seemed authentic. I knew that these just seemed too new though. And you know, for $9-10 a piece, I didn't really want to risk it, but you know, we've all seen those prices of $1,500 for a pair of jeans. Like, I was like, did I really just find these? So that's what you need to be looking for when you're looking for these biggies. Make sure that they are a pair of 501s. What I ended up picking up was a pair of 510s. There's a biggie. And 512s. They're in beautiful condition. They're a very nice pair of jeans. They're just part of the remakes. These are a few $100s each. They're not cheap Levi's by any means. They do have the light of their tag, biggie. They do have the single stitch inside. They're a perfect remake of the old ones back in the day, but they are from a newer collection, and that was my problem. But everywhere that I was looking, it didn't say make sure they're 501s. I didn't pick up the ones that are the corduroy, the blue corduroys with the white tab. I was a little confused because instead of saying Levi's, it just had an R. Now I did find that because of the trademark for like the red tab and stuff, a certain amount of pairs of them they have to make with just the R, just like prove their trademark or something. So they were real. Those were also a newer pair. I didn't know how corduroys would do. Turns out corduroys would have sold better than these. I definitely thought I scored the big time here, and I was trying to decide if I wanted to take the risk or not, because it was quite a bit more than what I'd like to spend. But I just knew there was the potential, so I took the risk. And it took many hours of research to find out that they do have to be the 501s, and these are not 501s, so these are part of their vintage remake collection. So that is a bummer, but these are honestly beautiful jeans. They're in perfect condition. They're really, really nice. I don't think these have ever been worn. They're just really, really nice jeans. So I am gonna put them up on my site. They are biggie Levi's, but they're part of the vintage remake collection that Levi's has launched. They are nice, but they're not the $1,500 holy grails. I also picked up this little Esprit bag. I know they're kind of trendy right now. This one's really cute. It just sits really nicely on. It's just a nice size bag. I thought it was super cute, so I grabbed it since I was already spending all. There was also like a Burberry like track jacket, windbreaker, but they wanted like so much for it. It was like $145. I was not gonna grab that one. Overall, Angel Thrift, I'm not sure if I'd recommend it. I mean, you can find some stuff like these are, you know, a few $100 jeans, but there's still $9 there. There's no half offs. Other stuff was pretty pricey. It's definitely something to check out, but I think that there's a few other better ones there. One of the people in the store actually did say that some of the other Angel View thrifts out there are a little bit better than that one. That one's a little high priced, but definitely something to check out. But is it the best one of all time? I don't think so.